What is up, my good people of the internet? Thank you for your patience here this morning as we're hanging out inside of Where Sports Meets Life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Mon Paz Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. To me, the snack capital of. So it is. I mean, to me, it's the place where you go in Central New York to get your snacks for any event, for anything you have going on. It is that express lane to snack heaven. That's how I look at it. The express lane to snack heaven. Get yourself over to Mon Paz today, 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. They have chocolate dipped Oreos, chocolate dipped pretzels, cotton candy, lemonade, kettle corn, popcorn, as well as their premium corn like the Elvis, which I love, which is banana flavored popcorn and Reese's peanut butter drizzle all over it because Elvis liked that peanut butter and banana. So get yourself out to Mon Paz today. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you and have some fun with your taste buds at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Great show set up for you today. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in on our channels, youtube.com and facebook.com, both /Wake Up Call DT and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. Appreciate you listening in and watching all over the world. Starting off the show as we always do with a trio of our signature segments on a Friday. TGIF means that it's AMOW, lead, and top dog. Annoying moment of the week, that's what AMOW is. So AMOW, the abbreviation. The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel, DeWitt. We'll get into that in just a moment. Followed by lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver is the acronym. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And the top dog of the week will start off hour number 2 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding of East Syracuse, the top dog of the week. And then you see that Jaguars logo because I saved them for Friday. That's right, baby. At the end of the week, we have the opportunity to hear from the Jacksonville Jaguars in my On the Prowl continuation. On the Prowl is what I call all of my coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we have been doing it all week long. We had On the Prowl special on Tuesday, we continued that on Thursday, and we will have it today as well. So a trio of On the Prowl moments conversating on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Today you're going to get to hear from the Jaguars themselves as I will be featuring my Q&As with 8 players on the team coming off of that home loss 37-17 to the Houston Texans. You will hear from Jaguar center Luke Fortner, wide receiver Tim Jones, offensive lineman Tyler Shatley, wide receiver and return specialist Jamal Agnew, linebacker Foye Oluokun, wide receiver Christian Kirk, linebacker Chad Muma, and quarterback Trevor Lawrence. In my Q&As with each of these gentlemen will be joining the show around 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. We will start our On the Prowl segment and run that through the end of the broadcast here today. So plenty of great stuff coming up where sports meets life, and it's time to jump into the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Here we go.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so.
The annoying moment of the week, still that intro to me, because that's exactly how I feel. It is. Do you have to be that crazy? And I guess so. I mean, I guess based on the things that I've seen, some people have to do the things that they do, or they feel like they need to do the things that they do that are a little bit off the wall, a little bit crazy, a little bit shocking, a little bit stunning in not a good way. So my annoying moment of the week for this week has to be, since I've been traveling and it's top of mind right now, my annoying moment of the week, it's one of them has got to be when you're at an airport and they tell you like, all right, we're going to start boarding, and everybody's been standing for, 35 minutes already. And after they've been standing for these 35 minutes, then they say, okay, we're going to continue boarding. So then more people stand up, and now there's just a pile of people staring at you. They're like, hey, I want to get on this plane right now. Why don't you let me get on that plane right there? Let me do it. Okay, well, what boarding group are you? Main cabin 3. Well, we're going to go ahead and call first class, and those people stand right there. The first class people got to be like, excuse me, can I get around you? Can I possibly go to the plane that you're blocking me from? I don't understand the necessity for everybody to stand up going, all right, well, I got to be ready. I'm next. I got to be next. I got to get on the plane. You got to let me on the plane. I'm going to have to get on the plane. Sit down. If I was working for an airline, this is what I would do. I'm telling you flat out, this is what I would do. I would say, hey, everyone, we're going to board flight whatever. And I'm going to call you up by zones. And when I call the zone, you can get up and you can get on the plane. If you're standing right now and you're not in the zone that I'm about to call, I won't board the plane. I will make you all stand here and look at me, and we won't go anywhere. Because it's ridiculous, the pile of people that, I mean, to anyone that's claustrophobic, God bless you in those situations, and I feel bad for you. But it's like, what is the point of it? Sit down, okay? She called one group. She didn't call you. And then you go around people, you're like, oh, are you first class? They're like, no, I'm main cabin too. Okay, well, you got about an hour and a half before they board you, so can I please go around you and get on the plane? So that's one thing. The other thing is rudeness. There is rudeness that happens, and this is anywhere. It could be in an airport. It could be in a grocery store. It could be anywhere. Customer service, right? Where you feel like you're bothering someone when you come into their store to buy their products. You feel like you're bothering them. Now, there's some people that are great at it, but there's some people that are terrible at customer service. They look at you like, why are you coming up to me asking me a question? I work here. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm not here to be bothered by you trying to find something that you can't find. Can't you see I'm on my phone? Can't you see I'm doing more important things? But that's the reality that we live in. I don't get it, but it's the reality that we live in when it comes down to customer service these days, or the lack thereof of customer service, where I could do whatever I want when I'm at work, except for actually help people. And if you work somewhere, here's a crazy thought. Probably know where things are. Probably be able to answer questions about your store. I can't tell you, I've been into places recently. Hey, can you tell me where this is? I don't know. I think it's over there. Then some lady sends me over there, and I get over there, and I say to a guy, can you tell me where this is? I can't find it. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And he starts looking for it. And I'm sitting here going to myself, okay, you know what? Can some, and there are certain stores, and I'm not going to name the store, but there are certain, because I'm not here to attack. I'm here to make a point. I'm not here to, we know on Wake Up Call, we don't single places out, Even when I talk about like the Big Ten and Notre Dame and the unfair advantage, I'm talking about those who are receiving the unfair advantage, which is why I'm mentioning them for context and factual background. It's we don't attack here on the show. That's not who we are. And looking at this specific store, I feel like nobody in that store is ever working in the right department. Because when you walk in and you say, hello, I need something in electronics, there's nobody in electronics. Then when you finally find somebody that's like putting dog food on the shelf, you're like, hey, can you tell me where this thing is in electronics? It says you have it on your website. It says it's here in the store. And then they go over to it. They have no idea what's going on in electronics. They say, hold on, let me get somebody over here. Then nobody shows up. I feel like 4 people work in the store every day. And that's it. And it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me to be in these types of situations. And in this store specifically, it happens all the time. Where I ask a question, well, first and foremost, it's going to take me 15 minutes to find somebody working. Then once I find that person working, good morning, Mom. Once I find that person working, to get them to figure out what the heck's going on in the store. And I understand this might not be to your department, but can you show me someone that works in this department? Can you lead me to someone who understands this department? Is there anybody in the store that's working in this department? Because I would love to speak to one of those people. But when I go to this specific place, there's almost always nobody in a department specifically. Remember when you used to go into a store and there was somebody in like apparel, and then there was somebody in like sports equipment. Like, let's say you walked into Dick's, for example. There was somebody in like sneakers. There was someone in clothes. There was someone in equipment, right? They knew where the baseball stuff was. They knew where the football stuff was. There was somebody that was, in a part for like lifting, right? So maybe there's somebody in the weight department, but there was people in different places where you're like, okay, Kim is the one that's handling all of the basketball stuff, and Stacy is doing baseball, and Phil is doing football, and Sarah is over doing sneakers, and Pat is over handling all of the apparel questions and jerseys and whatnot. So when you went somewhere, you would walk into a place. It's kind of like a video game. You would walk into an area of town and someone in that area would go, how can I help you? Now you walk into a store and it's like tag you're it. Nobody wants to help the customer, and you're trying to find someone in the store, and once you find them, it's like, oh, that's not my department. Okay, well, can you show me someone that works in that department? Because I've been standing there for 20 minutes and nobody has walked by the department, around the department, in the vicinity of the department. They haven't even looked at it. If you would like to sell this product, could you please help me? And I remember I went into one place with my mom, and some lady had bought something online, and she went into the store to return it because it was big. It was a bicycle. And she walks up in line, and the lady at the, guest service returns area, she goes, oh yeah, we don't take that here. She goes, that's our online store. And the lady goes, well, I'm here now at the company that owns the online and the store, because the overwhelming name of the company, you are all of it. So I don't know how to send a bike back, through the mail. So can I send it back to you? And can I get, some type of store credit or something like that? And they're like, yeah, that's not us. That's us online. But that's different from us. We're not the company that we are. We're not online. That's online. And the lady goes, well, how am I supposed to return this bike online? And she goes, you have to return it online because we're not online. We're the store. And I'm sitting there with my mom going to myself, okay, they got a better chance of returning this bike on back to their place because they have a truck come. They could send it back to the warehouse, whatever it may be. They got a better shot at returning this. This poor woman is trying to figure out if she has to go to FedEx and put this bike in a box. What does she do? She have to take the bike apart. And she had walked the bike in, and she said, I bought this bike online from your company and I want to return it. And they wouldn't take it. And I'm thinking, she paid for it to the company. So if she's returning it and she's got a receipt and all that, then the company's going to make the money back no matter what. So whether it's online or not, just return it. It's like, yeah, well, you can't return it to the store. You have to return it to online. And the lady's like, how do I return this back to the internet? Where do I send it? And the lady's just looking at her like, no. And it's like, it wasn't Pizza Hut and Domino's. It was the same company trying, and the lady, for the life of it, I mean, I'm sitting there trying to understand it, and my mom's trying to understand it. And neither one of us could figure out how they're going to get this bike back and where this bike is going, and why is this bike such an issue that they can't take the bike back, right? Doesn't make any sense. But customer service these days, that's what we live in. We live in this world of of a lack of customer service. So to those that have great customer service, I point you out. I actually stop, I talk to them, I thank them, because I want them to know that I appreciate it, and I want them to keep going. And I want them to hopefully affect somebody else's life in a positive way so that that person will give great customer service, so that we can all build up kindness and generosity and compassion and goodness together and make this world a better place once again. And so I appreciate all the good customer service people. But there's other people. I have something with my refrigerator. I'm supposed to be able to connect a line through my refrigerator to my water supply so that I can have ice. And I've been in my house for 7 years and I haven't been able to connect that line because nobody, when I go into the Home Depots and the Lowe's of the world, nobody can seem to tell me what size I need to put this thing on to make it work. They bring me to the aisle. They show me that there's 80 of them. And then they're like, good luck. See which one works. I don't know refrigerators. Is there anybody here that knows refrigerators? Anyone? Is there anyone in any warehouse or any store anywhere that knows anything about refrigerators? Because I don't think that I have a mysterious refrigerator that was dropped by an alien race from a billion light years away. I believe my refrigerator is probably like most refrigerators. It needs this one piece, but nobody can tell me what size it has to be. And I've bought in too small and I bought in too big and I finally got one to fit, but I'm trying to do it myself and I do not work on refrigerators for my life. And I tried to finally get, I tried to fit this one in. I got it to fit, but it still felt a little bit off. I connected it. I turned the water on. I stayed behind it just to watch because my mom had told me that she had a friend whose cabin got flooded because they left for the weekend and the hose, the thing that was supposed to hold the two hoses together, let go and there was just water everywhere. So I waited and sure enough, the water came through, the pressure was too much and it pushed the thing out. So I still don't have anything because every time I walk into a store to ask the question, and I appreciate people at Lowe's and Home Depot. And actually, those places usually have people that are more helpful than any other place that I go to. But it's, as an example, it's like, what am I supposed to do? I am the customer. I am the consumer. I do not know anything about my refrigerator's piece that I need. It doesn't come telling me this is the piece you need. There was no write-up on there saying you got to find this shape, this. It's basically like I need someone to come to my house, look at the hose, and then say, what do you think would fit in that situation? Because I'm making a guesstimate on an eye test. That's what I'm doing. But customer service, man, it's important. It's imperative. And these people that work now, it's like, I don't care if I get fired. I'll just get unemployment. You know, I was like, I don't know if that's their mentality, but I kind of feel like, is that their mentality? Because they'll sit there and they won't help you. They won't help you. It's like you're bothering them. And that to me is a travesty. It's the annoying moment of the week because what happened to customer service? You know, what happened to going like, hey, this didn't fit. I'm going to return it. And they're like, okay, well, we don't have this shirt. I returned a shirt one time. They're like, we don't have it. I'm like, yeah, you do. She's like, you have to find the exact shirt of this. I was like, do I though? Because we got it here. Can I just return the shirt? Well, you have to find the exact shirt. I don't think I do. What if you sold out of the shirts? I can't fit into this shirt. It's too big. So now I have to hope to Jesus that everyone in this city did not like that t-shirt so that there's one there so you can look at it. And then you get people looking at the shirt and it's the exact same shirt and this one's a little bit faded and this one's not. And so in the store, this looks pink and this looks red. And she's like, I don't think these are the same. There's the pink here and there's the red. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. When the manufacturer made these shirts, they didn't make them the same, but it's the same logo. It's the same shirt from the same company with the same tag on it. And she's going, I don't know. He looks like he's looking off to the side a little bit more than this guy. This guy's looking off into the distance. This guy's kind of looking straight into the distance. I think they're different. And I'm sitting here going, ma'am, is this going to affect your money that you get in your pocket today? Sir, if I return this shirt that you've been studying for 27 minutes, will this affect you monetarily? Will they go, you return that $4 shirt, we're taking that $4 from you. No lunch today, Phil. Go to the back. Knock it off. Returning shirts. from the company they came from. Who do you think you are? So, customer service, just get better. There's so many good customer service people, and then there's customer service people where you're like, do you really work here, or did you just put a shirt on that looks like everybody else in the store? I don't get it. But my most annoying moment is when you walk up to somebody working somewhere and you can see on their face that they're like, this person better not ask me a question. And you're like, dude, you work here. You work here. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. I have a question. And when you're at an airport, sit your butt down until they call your row. Mother of goodness. You're getting on a plane. It's a closed container. We're all going to get there. Right? We're all standing. We're all there. You just got to listen for your thing. They call first class, main cabin 2. Guy walks up. He thinks he's got it because he's cooler than everybody else and he's more important, obviously. And he walks up and he goes to scan the thing and they go, sir, you're main cabin 2. And he looks at her. Oh, I didn't know I couldn't get on. Well, they called first class. I know what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. I get it. Okay? You're more important than everybody else. You were told at some point in your life that you matter and nobody else does. And so now you're trying to get on the plane before everybody else, before your row is called. No. Get to the back and wait your turn. That's how it is, right? You board when they tell you to board. And then the people, when they start boarding, they freak out. They call like comfort, or they call what, I mean, I don't know if every company calls it the same, but like comfort or relax or more leg room or whatever it may be. I know Southwest doesn't have, you know, they have numbers, but they don't have, like, you can sit in first class. I mean, you could sit in the front of the plane if you're in the A group and you get on there quick enough and you jump over an old lady and, you know, you move past a baby. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like, I like that there's certain things like Southwest. It's interesting, right? Like, because you don't know where you're going to sit. You could sit wherever you want. But then at the same time, you don't have a place to sit. So, you know, you go to a row and you're like, hey, can I sit there? And you're wondering, can the person be like, no, no, I don't think so. I'm going to take both of these seats. I don't want you to sit here. But, you know, it's interesting, but with all the flying that I do, I just feel like passengers should be kinder to each other. They should be kinder to flight attendants. They should be kinder to gate agents. They should be kinder to the ticketing people. They should be kinder to the people that are handling their luggage. It's kind of like going to a restaurant, right? Good morning, Will. How are you, sir? It's kind of like going to a restaurant, right? Why would you be disrespectful to someone that's preparing your food? Are you an idiot? It's the same thing. I'm going to scream in the face of this person that is going to get me on a plane so that I could go on vacation. Not a good idea. By the way, another annoying moment of the week. I don't know what happened to rental car services, but can you guys start going back to work? Are you striking? What happened? Because I went to go rent a car and there's 2 companies that work together and there was nobody, 0 people for one of the companies. So everybody had to shift to the other one. So you go up to them and they ask you, are you this or this? Because they're the 2 companies working together so that they could find your reservation. There was 2 people servicing an entire line of people. 30 people being serviced by 2 people, nobody working. Like, nobody came to work for this one company all day. Nobody's there. Then I get to the thing and I said to the lady, I go, I fill my car up so I don't prepay gas. Normally it's a choice. It's always been a choice. Do you want to prepay gas? You want to fill it up yourself? And I always fill it up myself because I don't want to prepay gas. You're going to charge me more than what it is out there. I don't trust you. I'm not doing that. So the lady, the last time I went, not this time, but the time before that, she said to me, okay, you're going to fill your own tank? Yeah. She goes, okay, I'm going to charge you the prepaid and you're going to fill your own tank. And when you come back, just tell them to take the prepaid off. Why are you charging me the prepaid if I said I'm going to fill it? If it comes back not full, charge me then. So you're charging my account. You're putting a hold on my account for that money. And I'm paying for the gas. So now I paid $90 for gas because you held $57. Plus the gas cost me $30 plus. So now I'm paying $90 for gas. Then I come there and I go, see, it's full. Now take the thing off. She goes, I can only take part of it off. I can take $50 of the $57 off, but I can't take the other $7 off. When you come back to this city, come over and see me. Okay, so if I come back to that city and I rent from another company, I got to walk over, hope to Jesus you're working, come over to you, say, "Hi, ma'am. Remember me from a week ago when I was charged $57? Can I have my other $7 back?" And then she goes, "Yes." That makes no sense. So I asked one of the people working for these two companies the next week about it, and she looked at me and she goes, "You got to be adamant. You got to tell them I don't want that charge. You got to tell them over and over again." I'm like, I thought telling them no once was good enough. I didn't know I had to sit here and plead my case and fight with these people. "Oh, you got to tell them." It's not my job to keep telling them. I got to tell you how many times until you listen. No. Don't charge me. She's like, "You got to be adamant." She's like, "I don't know why she did that." Then the manager's kind of like puzzled by why the lady did that. They don't understand why she did that. Yet she did that. Can you take the money off? Can you make sure I didn't get charged that money? Who does that? Right? But they don't go to work. 2 weeks in a row. It took me an hour to get a car. An hour. If people were actually doing their job, it would have taken me like 20 minutes. I went to another airport down in Florida. There was 2 people working. There was 200 people in line. I waited 2 hours to get my car. I landed at like 10, 11. I went to bed at 2. I think I got there at like 11, like 10, almost 11. And I got my car at 1 o'clock in the morning. Because that's where I want to be at 1 o'clock in the morning, is at an airport with a bunch of people in the middle of the night that I don't know. I mean, so these are easy, annoying moments, but they got to be talked about. Go to work. When you're at work, help people. When you're flying, be kind to people. It's not all about you. But holy sweet mother, can we start to like give customer service again? Can we start to be kind again? Can we start to be on time? Can we start to be just listen to the people that talk to you? No, I don't want this. Just give me my car. I'm not going to prepay gas. Okay, well, we're going to charge you, and then you can tell them you don't want it. And then what? So now you've already charged me. So now that money's out of my account. So now I got to go, and when I come back, I got to fight it. Then the lady's going to tell me some other rule I didn't know, which she can't give me the full amount back. Then they're like, "Just call customer service. They'll do it for you." Why don't I waste more time of my day because you hit a button? Don't hit the button. Don't hit the button that says I'm going to charge this guy $57 for no reason. And then we don't have to deal with this. You're making my life difficult because you decided to. You don't have to do it. Then the other lady working for the company, what does she say to me? They don't have to do that. They don't have to hit that button. They don't have to make that happen. You just tell them no, and then they say, okay. Customer service is 99% who you get. Because some people are a dream. Other people are a freaking nightmare when it comes to customer service. There's times I'll go up to a place, and I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but some covers look tattered and ruined. And you walk up somewhere, and I don't ever want to judge a book by its cover, so I don't, right? I don't judge it by... I don't like when somebody looks mad, when somebody looks angry, right? That resting face that's scary. But I try to listen. Try to listen to what people say. Because I don't want to judge a book by its cover, so I try to see how their personality is and how they interact with people. And some people are just miserable, and you're like, oh, I don't. Or some people try to force things on you. Go to rent a car. Do you want insurance? I have insurance, but you need this insurance. I have insurance, but you need this. But you should probably get a pass. Do you want a pass? You should probably get a pass. I'm going to give you a pass. I don't want a pass. Are you sure? Because I already clicked on it. No. Just give me my car. One of the things that I don't enjoy doing and that I feel like I've gotten better at over the years is the negotiation of renting the car that you already paid for. There's a negotiation. When I get there, I want the car. Give me the car now. I paid for the car. Here is my license. Here is my credit card. Here is my name. I am the guy who rented this vehicle. It is only me driving this vehicle. I am going to take care of this vehicle. This is my insurance company. Can I go now? I'm quick now. I just tell people, listen, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. I got a meeting. I just landed. I got to get somewhere. Boom, boom. No, no, no. Don't want this. Don't want this. Don't want this. Let me go. I don't need the add-ons. Stop trying to sell me this stuff. It's like dealing with a car salesman every time you rent a car. I don't want to do it. There's certain places that are better. There's certain airports that are phenomenal. There's other airports that are not. But, you got to hope, like, okay, maybe this person's not going to ask me questions because they're tired. Maybe they're just over it. Maybe the line is so freaking long and they know these people are all going to be really mad at them that they just move it through. Okay? Just move it along. But I'm not here to negotiate with you when I rented a car. I rented a car from your company because it was the cheapest price. Not because I wanted to, more often than not, but because it was a good price and I just want to go and I want to enjoy my work, my vacation, all the stuff that I'm doing. I am not here to talk to you and negotiate down something. And I'm not going to call customer service and be on the phone for an hour because you made a mistake, because you forced me to get something I told you I didn't want. That can't work everywhere, right? You pull into a restaurant or you pull into a drive-thru. What would you like? A cheeseburger? Nah, we're going to give you a chicken sandwich. You're going to like it. I want the cheeseburger. Why are you going to get a chicken sandwich? Well, can I get some fries? Nope. We're going to give you apple slices. Well, I want some fries. Well, I think the apple slices are better for you. We already clicked on the button. They can't do that. But they do that at the rental car places sometimes. So, all I'm saying is be kind, be courteous, listen to your guests and the people that you are serving. Guests, be nice to the workers. Workers, be nice to the guests. And let's all get home and have a great day. With that being said, that's the annoying moment of the week. Because it's annoying. So we'll take a step aside. Proudly presented by Carvel, DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like. We'll be back with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero, Chick-fil-A Clay right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place, right off of Teal Ave in Syracuse, New York, is your sports card hobby shop of choice. It should be the place you go every single time. Why? Because they have great product, but above all that, they care. Their guest service, just spoke about guest service. Their guest service is amazing. They care about the people that walk through the door. They have that personal touch, that connection with each and every single person that comes in. They want you to feel like, hey, if you need any help, let us know. The way that they treated me when I walked through the door for the first time is the reason why I wanted to partner with them. And it's as simple as that. When you have that wonderful approach to people, just simply saying hello. Do you need anything? How can we help you? Is there something special you're looking for? Let me know if you have any questions. They care, and they love the hobby too. That's the thing. When you see ownership that is right there in it, doing box breaks, doing pack breaks, getting excited about cards, seeing what other people got, supporting others in the hobby. It is a great place to celebrate the hobby and make new memories. If it's your first time in a card shop, go to GG. If you've been to a million card shops, GG should be the premier one of choice for you. 639 Delmar Place, open 7 days a week in Syracuse, New York. Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. You can go online to ggcardsandbreaks.com for more information, and they have a monthly trade night, which I implore you to come to. Everyone comes there, from kids that are 7, 8, 9 years old to adults in their 60s, 70s. It's a wonderful place to show that same hobby and make new memories. Sports cards bring people together in such a cool and unique way. It's such an amazing world that we get to live in, and it's a passionate and fun place, and I love to see all of the relationships that grow and build from that. GG Cards and Breaks is a wonderful place to spread positivity, to find some really cool things, to expand your knowledge, and to get to know your community. GG Cards and Breaks. Make your way over there today on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, right off of Teal Avenue. That being said, back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, it's time to get into LEAD. Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver is what the LEAD acronym stands for, that I created with God back in 2019. I blame God for giving me this idea. I wanted to come up with something. I wanted to come up with a faith-based segment with all the things that we do in my show, and me not hiding my faith. I wanted to find a way to tailor something toward that and to send a message every week, a message about God, a message about positivity, a message to help people. And in putting this together, I like to create things that are unique and different. And so having this acronym, trying to find the right acronym, the one that would make sense, that if you just saw the word, it would be a positive word like lead. And then to go from there and say, okay, well, what are we going to do with this word lead? How are we going to make this into something that has a meaning beyond the meaning? And that's where everything came from for Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver. So I want to thank God for this, because I couldn't have done it on my own. And I'm happy to bring it to you every Friday right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I know we went a little bit long here on the annoying moment of the week, but we're going to jump right into lead now and spend our time here speaking on Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver with today's topic, which is leave the past in the past. It's a hard thing to do. But this weekend, I have the opportunity to be around some people from my past. And there's things that happened in the past that may have included some of these people or been around some of these people that I didn't like. And so the question is, what do you do with that stuff? Some of those memories that were tough, some of those memories that weren't fun or exciting, some of those memories where you felt like you weren't completely yourself. And you have to leave the past in the past, because it already happened and you can't change it. And there's a movie, Click, where the guy can kind of go to his past, he could go to his present, go to his future, he could speed through things, he could slow things down. And eventually what you realize is, if you want to change one thing, now you want to change everything. Now nothing is perfect and you want to continuously change it. And you're not really living your life anymore. You're just editing your life. But you're not really living. You're just changing it. You're going back to places and adjusting things instead of living in the moment. And you can't go back. You can't change the past. You can't change things that have happened, things that people said, things that people did, things that you said, things that you did. You can't change that. So the past is something that haunted me for a really long time. Most of my childhood, I thought about the past. I was worried about the past. The past hurt me. What do I do about the past? Right? The girls I dated in the past, they did this and it hurt. This friend did this and it hurt. I got bullied about this and it hurt. Someone didn't make me feel safe or feel like I could speak and it hurt. So what do? You have to leave what has happened where it happened. It doesn't mean you don't grow from it. It doesn't mean you can't reflect on it. And it doesn't mean you can't go back to, good times in the past and appreciate them and celebrate them. What it means is, as much as you need not dwell on the negativity of the past and at the same time you can appreciate, those good memories, you want to make new ones. Because I found in my life, there were people in my life where every time I spent time with them, I was thinking about the good old days. So we're sitting in the present, but I'm thinking about, hey, remember in the past when we did this together? Remember this, remember that? And all my fond memories were in the past, but I wasn't making new memories with them in the present. And it hit me that here I am spending all of this quality time with this person, thinking about how great time was back then and not doing anything with the time right now. And I thought to myself, I'm not making any memories with this person. I'm just reflecting on the memories I already made, but I'm not making any new memories. I don't have any memories saying I'm 37 years old and remember when we did this together. I'm saying remember when I was 5 and we did this. Remember when I was 20 and we did this. But I'm not making memories right now. And it's important, right? Because I don't want to keep getting older and thinking about all the memories when I was a kid, because I'm getting farther and farther away from them, which means that the gap in between, I'm not making these memories. I'm not living in the present. I'm living in the past of, remember when everything was good when I was 5. Remember when this happened when I was 10. Remember when this happened when I was 14. It doesn't mean to not fondly think about them, but you have to live in the present. And I find myself with negativity in my life, I was living in the past. I was letting the past hold me down. Whatever had happened to me 10 years ago, 18 years ago, 5 days ago, it was still happening to me. There were ripple effects. It was the aftershock of an earthquake. And it's like, why am I making myself relive this earthquake every single day? To get to a point where I am today, where I get to interact with people from my past this weekend, and I'm not thinking about any of that stuff because it doesn't matter, because I can't change it. And because the person that I was when they knew me, I wasn't fully myself. I was afraid. I was paranoid. I was scared. I didn't think people would accept me. I didn't think people would appreciate me. I felt like I had to hide. I felt like I wanted to just be a fly on the wall so nobody would see me and nobody would bother me. And that's not who I am, and that's not my personality, and it's never been my personality. So now they get to see me. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to focus on, this is who I am. This is who you missed back then, because this is me. And I'm not going to let you silence me, quiet me, scare me. I'm not fearful of the stuff I was afraid of as a kid, because when I reflect on it, I should have never been afraid. I should have been me. Who put those people in power? The people that were afraid of them put them in power. And I love the person that I am. I can be a million times better, and I got to work at that every single day. But I'm proud of the man that I am. I'm proud of the human being that I am. I'm proud of the father I am. I'm proud of the worker that I am. I'm proud that I've chased my dreams and I've caught them, and it's making me want. I feel like I just got out of college. I feel like I just walked out of college a month ago. That's how I feel. Almost 20 years into being a broadcaster, I feel like I just got started, and I want to feel that way, in the sense of I am such a go-getter. I always want to achieve and expand and create. And I love that. I love that. I love having the mind and the heart and the soul that's just like, hey, what can we do together to make something magical, right? And when you put it all together, right, you put your mind, body, heart, and soul into it, you can be anything, you can create anything. And I think that, we should strive to be the best version of ourselves. And you can't be that if you're living in the past. You're supposed to learn from your past, but you're not supposed to stay there. Your past is like quicksand. Everybody else is moving forward. You're held in place, and you're sinking. And I don't want that for you, and I don't want that for me. I don't want to be in a place where I'm sinking, where anything has power over me, ownership over me. I am the keeper of my life. The only power over me is God. There's no human being who has power over me. There's no animal or thing or whatever that has power over me. And we live a lot of our lives acting like other people have power over us. And that's a power that we have given to them. You know, anybody can walk into a room and say, I want power over you. But you have to be like, okay, or no thank you. And living in the past, you succumb to whatever in the past is with you. And even if it's good, you're locking yourself there. Not that you can't have pleasant memories and enjoy them, but when you lock yourself in the past, like I said, you're not making new memories. It's important to be able to open yourself up to experiencing life today. Yes, enjoy your past. Yes, reflect on it. Yes, love it and appreciate it and value all the people that you spent time with that mattered to you and that treated you with respect. At the same time, don't forget to live today. Because back then, you wouldn't have the memories that you had that you fondly think about if you were living in the past back then. You were living in the present because you enjoyed those moments. You had a good time. And I want you to live in those moments today. I want you to celebrate life today. I want you to make the most of your life today. Because it's in making the most of your life, it's in celebrating the moments you have where you truly can feel alive and be alive and enjoy your life. This world is not easy. It doesn't pretend to be easy at all. But it is a beautiful life. If you work at it, you respect it, you try, this life has the opportunity to be the best you ever had. But you have to be willing to let go of your past. Because your past, holding on to you and you holding on to it, you get lost in it. And when you get lost in it, it's hard to move forward. It's hard to find your footing. It's hard to find your way. And the farther you go down that rabbit hole, the more difficult it becomes to get yourself right, to get yourself centered, to put yourself in a good position. The past is always going to be there. It happened. It's stationary. But are you going to be stationary, or are you going to be willing to move forward? Because if you live in the past, essentially, you kind of die there. You're just a ship floating in the night with no direction, no wheel, no navigation, no compass. You're just there. And we've all felt there at some point, right? We've all felt like we're just a ship without a compass, just sitting in the ocean. But to me, God is my guiding light. God is my compass. God is my navigator. God is the one that said, boy, I love you to pieces. And I know that life is hard, but I can't have you living back here. I need you to be with me right now. I woke you up today, not to think about your yesterdays, but to think about right now. What are we going to do right now? Because if you meet somebody 20 years after you saw them, you see them again, and that person walks away going, I didn't grow a bit, I didn't learn anything, I haven't gotten rid of my bad habits, I have not improved in 20 years. This person saw the same person who hasn't grown. That's not a good thing. Grow. Evolve. And don't do it for anybody else. Do it for you. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, deliver. That's how you move on from the past. You learn from it. You evolve from it. You ad-lib. You learn how to do things better. You learn how to do things in the moment. You learn to adjust better based on your experiences, and you deliver on the promises that you promised yourself, that you promised God, You deliver on those promises, the ones that you promised other people, right? You tell your daughter, hey, I'm going to come to more of your games. 5 years later, you're coming to less of her games or the same amount of her games. You need to do better. You got to deliver on your promise, right? You said, honey, I'm going to be there when you're out there playing your game, and you don't show up. Well, after a few years, she starts thinking he's never going to show up. She's never going to show up. You are the keeper of your present. And here's the crazy thing. You can't change the past, and you can't get to the future yet, right? You got to go through the present. Here's the crazy thing about the past, the present, and the future. If you live in the past, you're not living in the moment, and it's going to affect you in a negative way. If you're living in the future, you're always living down the road. You're not living in the present right now, and you're not enjoying the moment, and you're not building for it. You're just being like, I want to get here, but you're not working to get to that place. We want to control the past, present, and future, but here's the interesting thing. One of them affects all three of them. If you live in the present and you do the best you can, and you're a good person, and you try, and you go after your dreams, and you're willing to be yourself, and even if you're afraid, you go out there and you have the courage to be who you are, you will create a good past to reflect on, and you will create a positive future to look forward to if you take care of your present. Taking care of your present gives you a good past and a bright future. Focusing on your future only or your past only does not do anything positive. Focusing on one of them only affects one of the three. Focusing on the present affects all three in a positive way. And people say it all the time. It's called the present because it's a gift. And how wonderful are we to have that gift? You don't know what's going to happen in the future. There's a bunch of things out of your control. You know what happened in the past, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if there's nothing you can do about it over here, and you don't know what's coming over there, the only thing you can do in the present is to be the best you can be, prepare the best you can prepare, and put yourself in a trajectory where you can be excited about your future and build something and be proud of what you're doing now, so that when you look back on it, you could say, wow, I'm happy I did that. I'm proud of myself for that. The present affects everything, but you have to be willing to live in it and not in the past. You got to leave the past behind. It's one of the hardest things to ever have to learn, one of the hardest things to ever do, because we feel like the past is literally grappled onto our hands, just stuck to our hands. What we don't realize is we think the past is locked onto our hand, grabbing us and pulling us, when all we have to do is let go. We act like the past has a hold on us, has a grip on us. But the grip is not in the past hand, it's in our hand. If we just let go of it, it would let go. And that's the thing that maybe will help you live with it today, is understanding the fact that the past, you might feel like the past has a grip on you and won't let go. It's actually you that won't let go of the past. The past isn't holding on to you, you're holding on to it. And maybe that'll help you let go. Because realizing that you're the one in power and you're the one that gets to decide if you're going to let go of the past or not, that could finally help you let go of it. So many of us don't let go of the past because we feel like it's holding us too tight, when we're the ones with the grip, not the past. Remember that and be willing to let go. You don't have to let go of your memories, all those good times. You have to let go of living there. And you have to be willing to celebrate your life now. You know? The good old days are always going to be the good old days, but what about the good old now? What about the memories you can make now, the people you can connect with now, the things you can do now? You want to make new memories, you got to live the moment. So instead of thinking the past has you like this, realize it's you that needs to let go. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. This has been Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. We'll be back in a moment with the top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding.
Hi, Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. It is time inside of MonPawsPopcorn.com's What's Poppin' to get into the top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. My top dogs of the week are all of the businesses over these last few years that have fought through one of the toughest times and unnecessary time, right? And when I say about, maybe unnecessary isn't the right word, a time that I don't feel like had to happen when we went through COVID. I think the ball was fumbled a bunch of times in COVID. I think there was a lot of control being sought in COVID. I think there was a lot of help toward corporate and not local and mom and pop places. And there was a lot of confusion, right? You can go to Home Depot, but you can't go to church. You can go and be a part of a peaceful protest, but you can't hug your mom or your dad. A lot of things didn't make sense. But my top dogs of the week are the people that strive through it. From a business owner to a business owner, I applaud you. I applaud every single one of you. Even if you closed your doors over these last few years, I applaud all the effort that you gave, all the time that you took, everything that you did. I don't want to see anybody give up. I don't want to see anybody give in. I know some people might have retired early. I just want you to know, no matter what happened, thank you for fighting. Thank you for striving for greatness. Thank you for giving all you can. Thank you for living in the moment. Thank you for going up against everything that was there, everything that was set opposite you. trying, pushing, developing, believing, giving everything you could. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you to every business owner that has navigated through one of the toughest times we've ever lived through, where it seemingly felt like people were trying to take control from us, put their hands in our pockets, get into our buildings, weasel their way through who we are and what we do and what we're about, undermine, deteriorate, and affect things. It wasn't just the virus that could physically affect you. It was the virus of the last 3 years of control and manipulation and lying and double standards. There's a lot of things that businesses had to go through that people can't even imagine. And to all of you that navigated through it, knew things were wrong, knew things were unfair, knew things were ridiculous, knew I shouldn't be asked that question. I don't have to deal with this. I shouldn't have to deal with that. I applaud you for going through stress that you didn't deserve. Moments that shouldn't have happened, but for whatever reason they did. And if they did, then God had a message. And I hope that you realize that message, and I hope that you're better from learning that message today. These last few years have been really unfair, especially to business owners. They haven't been kind, they haven't been right, and it might have left you discouraged. It might have left you questioning things. It might have left you worried about what the future of this country is going to be and what you should come to expect. And I'm here to tell you today that for all of you, no matter what you faced, how scary it was, how upsetting it was, how stressful it was, that I applaud you because you kept going. I thank you for opening your doors however you could, for staying passionate about the things that you love and you care about, for continuing to help people even when you felt like nobody was helping you. To all of the business owners, I applaud you and I thank you for the effort that you have given and the faith that you have had, even if it was shaken, even if it was tough, even on your worst day. I thank you all for being here, and I thank you all for striving, for caring, and for not letting somebody knock you down and hold you there. We all get hit. But what does Rocky say? It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. And with that, I thank all of the companies that navigated through these last few years and have navigated through everything. Carvel, DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, K9 Camp Dog Daycare, 317 at Montgomery Street, Avacoles, Great Lakes Honda City, PB&J's Lunchbox, K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Mother's Cupboard, Lemoyne College, Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, Alfred University. I thank you all for fighting, for working hard, for doing everything that you could, for sticking up for yourself, for believing in yourself, for following your dream, for keeping that passion, for keeping your focus, and on your worst day, still getting up, still doing the best you can, still striving, still trying. You're my top dogs. Because without you in this community, we would have a bunch of lights that were out. Without you in this community, we'd have a lot of good people that wouldn't be here. Without you, we wouldn't have examples of chasing your dreams and believing in yourself no matter what. These last few years haven't been easy on any of us. And the people that I have the blessing of working with, you banded together with the people that you love. You banded together with me. And we went through this together. We worked on this together. We believed in this together. We strived to be better together. And I cannot thank you enough for your faith in me, your faith in yourself, your faith in God, and your belief, and your love, and your passion to keep moving forward. I'm honored to work with you, and I'm honored for every business owner out there, every entrepreneur who doesn't let anything get them down, in or out of their control. We are the future. We build it now. And what that future looks like depends on the present and what we focus on. Love, faith, passion, kindness, generosity, honesty, transparency, wholesomeness, morals, values. I've met so many wonderful people in business, and I commend you for all of the sleepless nights and the cold sweats, for everything that you've had to go through, and you went through it because you care, because you wanted to get through it, because whatever you are doing in your life that matters to you is bigger than anything that was put against you. You are examples that we can fight the demons, the giants, the ogres, the trolls, whatever you want to call it, that we can fight whatever's stacked against us, and we can get on the other side of it, and we will be better because of it. You're my top dogs because you are a living, breathing example that when you chase your dreams, there is no substitute and there is no QUIT. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all you have done. And thank you for doing it with a clean heart, an open mind, a generous soul, and faith. God is great, and I'm grateful to know you. My top dogs of the week. Those business people, those entrepreneurs that don't ever give in or give up. Even if the enemy is invisible, even if the thing that's up against them has never happened before. I know a lot of good people with big hearts, and they're some of the greatest fighters I know. Thank you for staying in the ring. Thank you for getting back up again. And thank you for showing us how winning is done. My top dogs of the week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. Two businesses that I'm talking about within this entire segment as well. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, Chad. Thank you to the entire team that never gave up, never gave in. And even when it was hard, even when it was tough, even when the day seemed like it was dark all the way through and we couldn't see the sun, y'all stayed the course. Even when the course got rocky, even when the course seemed to change, and even when we couldn't see where the course was going. Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. You stuck with it. To all the businesses I've worked with, you stuck with it. To all the business owners and entrepreneurs and business starters and everybody out there chasing their dreams, keep going. No matter what. Because if somebody's pushing up against you and trying to stop you, well, if you got goodness in your heart, whoever's trying to stop you is trying to stop you because they know something good's about to happen. Trust in God and keep moving forward. God bless y'all. Top dogs of the week. Proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. Head out to Canine Camp Dog Daycare today, as well as Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. You can get in touch with them by going out to East Syracuse. The daycare is on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, and right down the road on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, you'll find the Kampground Dog Boarding. For more information, call 315-437-7110 for the daycare. And for the campground, 315-299-4013 to get in touch with them. Online, you can go to k-9kamp.com for the daycare. And for the campground, go to k-9kampground.com. Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. the Top Dog of the Week segment, proudly presented by them, and the perfect place and the only place that I would tell you to bring your dog for short and long-term care in central and upstate New York. We'll be back right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Proud to be here with you, hanging out every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And as you saw our graphic and heard our music, it is time for On the Prowl, proudly presented here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora to you all throughout the Jaguars season. And I have the opportunity to present to you my conversations with the Jaguars, starting with center Luke Fortner, who I had the opportunity to speak with following the loss at home to the Houston Texans, 37-17. Luke Fortner was drafted in the third round last year out of Kentucky, and I said, this guy can play center. He can also play guard. He's going to come in, and I would anticipate him starting right away, and I put him in there to that center position and said him and Tyler Shatley, someone can play center, somebody can play guard, and here he is coming in last season playing center, working his way in there, and now being the starting center on the team. Luke Fortner and I, in this conversation on the Prowl in my Jacksonville Jaguars coverage, is right now.
Well, obviously coming in last year and, being asked to be the center of this team and be out there right away, just what you can say you've taken away from getting the experience you've gotten in just not even 2 seasons in the NFL.
Yeah, I've learned so much, and every day, every week, I'm still learning something. And Brandon Sheriff the other day said he had his NFL moment for the first 4 years of his career. So, every week you get a reminder you're still in the NFL, and you better buckle up.
Coming from Kentucky, what did you take away from SEC play that prepares you for something like this?
Yeah, just great competition every week. I mean, playing in Kentucky, every team you played had best of the best players in college, and obviously in the NFL, they're 10 times as good. So every week you got to come ready to play.
Looking at this offensive line, before you came in here, it had struggled with guys, talented guys, but just not staying healthy. What can you say about the offensive line that you've played with last season into this season and some of the guys that returned from last year?
Yeah, just did an incredible job taking care of their bodies and staying consistent and always being there to play. And, I think every guy on this offensive line wants to be out there with their brothers, and I think you're going to continue to see that.
When Anton goes down, another guy that's gotten to play right away as a rookie, just what you can say about the next man up approach and at the same time wanting Anton to be out there.
Yeah, obviously, Anton's going to spend this week getting better and see where he's at. And, it sucks, especially as your first year to come in and early in the season. But that's, part of the life is dealing with injury, and we'll see how he is. But, anyone behind him is going to do a phenomenal job. And I think Cole stepped up, did a great job today at the end.
What do you take away from these two losses, both being at home and offensively, just what you're seeing?
It's a reminder you're still in the NFL, and you can't. The minute you come in and think you're good at football, you're not. You're going to be humbled right away, and we've got the talent, we've got the guys, and we just got to find a way to put it together. If I had the answers, I'd be in Coach Peterson's office right now. But we're going to continue to work, and we're going to be okay.
What did Coach P say to you guys after this one?
He said, we got to figure it out. It's on us. It's all of us. It's the whole organization, from coaching down to us, down to the little things we do and the way we practice and meet. And you got to take a look in the mirror and everything. And the minute you think you've arrived, you realize you're still terrible.
Coming from Luke Fortner, the center for the Jacksonville Jaguars in his second season with the team, saying, hey, Doug Peterson, the head coach, said we got to figure it out. It's on us. The moment that you think you arrived, right? You got to stay humble. You got to stay hungry. You got to get after it. And you got to be willing to work. And he said, hey, if I had the answers to what's going on right now, I would be in Coach Peterson's office in this moment. We're obviously telling him. So hopefully Jacksonville could figure this out with a change of scenery and time to regroup, which is exactly what I called my article coming off of this game. Next up here, for the first time ever on the broadcast, I have the opportunity for another first. Luke Fortner was a first here, and now Tim Jones, wide receiver on the Jacksonville Jaguars. When they had a bunch of receivers in camp, like many teams do, Tim Jones was one of the receivers that made the cut here into the 53-man roster, and I had the opportunity to speak with him for the first time ever coming off of this game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is what Tim had to say.
Well, just, despite the adversity that comes early on in the season, you got an opportunity with this team to come out and be one of the receivers. Just what it means to you to see all of that work come into the role that you have.
I don't even know what to say today. Just hard work and just filling in where they need me and just doing whatever for this team. That's always my role, honestly. Just whatever we need, I'll do it, despite the loss today.
Making this roster, though, and kind of the big picture of it all, what is it about this team that makes you want to be a Jaguar?
Just love everything about it, man. I've always been an underdog my whole life, and we're always the underdog. We've always been the underdog, and being a part of that season last year just was miraculous. It was crazy. Cause, I've never really been on winning teams and had the opportunity to have that many wins last year and go that far. So just everything about it, the city, the team, and everything.
When you say that you've always been the underdog, what are some of those moments that you can take from your life to maybe help you in this adversity?
Just push through. That's all you can do, just push through, trust the process, and come back and get better every single day, 1% better every day. That's the mindset.
I spoke with Luke Fortner, and I asked him what Coach Peterson said after the game. He said, you guys got to figure it out. Can you put your finger on anything that it could be right now?
Not really anything to point out, just collectively as a group. We just have to get better as a football team.
Playing with a guy like Trevor Lawrence, just what you can say about his leadership and the experience that you've had with him when your number is called.
Trevor, he's always a great leader. Since we came in the same year together and everything, and just seeing him progress every single year. I mean, he's gotten better and better. So.
Final note, you're going to head on the road for a couple games over in London. What do you want to say to the community here in Duval before you come back?
Oh, man, just hold it down, and while we're going to hold it down. I'll say that.
Yeah, coming from Tim Jones, wide receiver on the Jacksonville Jaguars, just talking about the fact that they have to respond to adversity. They got to figure it out. They're, more of this coming together, respecting each other, working together, and doing this as a family. And that's the only way that they're going to get out of this thing. I've been in this locker room for the better part of the last 13 years. I've seen a lot of different locker rooms in Jacksonville. Last season, there was a locker room talking about God and faith more than I've ever experienced on any team, arguably professionally. Now they have to tap back into that, tap into what brought them together, tap into the family that they've created there, and to find a way to work through this storm. Because adversity makes you, right? Everyone goes through adversity, but it has the opportunity to create something special if you let it. The Jacksonville Jaguars have an opportunity to come out of this thing roaring louder than they ever have before. But they got to work together. They have to train. And they can't be afraid to stand out in the open and growl. Let us see who the Jaguars truly are. And when you know who you are and you're proud of who you are, you got nothing to be afraid of. I know this team has talent. I know this team has capability. And I know this team hasn't gotten a lot of national respect throughout the majority of their existence. But here on this show, I would like to think they've always gotten more than enough respect, time, and care. And I'll continue to give it. And I hope they'll continue to give it to each other. Coming up next, offensive lineman Tyler Shatley joins the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. He's been able to help out in a bunch of different areas for the team when they need him at guard or at center. He's been on teams that had little to no depth on the offensive line, and now a team that's got a bit more. This is what he had to say after the Texans game when we had an opportunity to speak with one another.
Knowing, obviously, adversity, you've seen this on this team for a bunch of years, ups and downs, and the team's worked through it. How do you work through what's happened these last couple games?
Yeah, I mean, the only plan right now, we just got to keep showing up. We come back tomorrow, watch film, make corrections, see where we're falling short, and address it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just get back on the horse.
This team has had different iterations of the offensive line. What do you like about this offensive line this season for the Jaguars?
I just love the way that guys can, sub in and out. I feel like we can be very fluid, and guys are playing, multiple positions, playing well. It's cool to get to see Cole come in today and step up, play well. Obviously, you hate to see anybody go down. Obviously praying for Anton and for him, but I think it just goes to show that how the offensive line, we had to work as a unit.
Anton getting the opportunity to play as a rookie, and like you said, it's sad to see anybody go down, but what have you seen from him early on in his career here in the NFL?
I think he's going to be a very good player. He's very athletic. I can just see, his work ethic's very good. He goes out there, especially during the week, a lot of things that guys, a lot of outsiders don't get to see is how hard he works in the meeting room, on the practice field, and I think he's going to have a long, really good career.
For this team moving forward, there's, like I said, different iterations that have happened over time, like we had talked about. You've had to play in different places. Do you feel like, I know it's early on and only a few games in, but do you feel like the personnel that you have on this season's offensive line has been the right mix so far?
Yeah, I think best five are playing right now, and obviously, like I said, if in the unfortunate circumstance somebody's shoe falls off or something, next guy up, and I know every guy is going to go out there and play their best. I know that every guy's put in the work throughout the week to go out there and perform.
And Walker Little, I mean, what he was able to do at the end of last season and step in, and it looked like there wasn't any starters out wherever he had to fill in. What can you say about his play when this has really become a place for him to grow and blossom and find his own place on the starting lineup?
Yeah, he's been playing really well. You know, like you said, he came in last year, and it was very seamless. Obviously, once again, you know, you hate to see him go down in Kamp, going down with the injury, but you know, what a great opportunity for Walker to come in, show that he can be versatile, and also play at that caliber.
And then final note, just leadership-wise, with you having spent a bunch of years here and seen different locker rooms, what can you say about leading this team moving forward, and maybe a message or two that you carry with you?
Well, the thing about the whole team is, you know, we're going to fight and we're going to keep going. We're going to, like I said, show up on Monday, ready to go back to work. And, you know, this is a team that we're not going to, nobody loses faith. We're going to keep working.
And there's that word again. Nobody loses faith. Faith. Something that I saw this team, heard this team talk about, was around this team and experienced the fact that so many of them spoke on faith. Tyler Shatley just said it. We're not going to lose faith. And what I love about Tyler Shatley and the work that he's put in, that I not only appreciate and respect, but that he's now on an offensive line where I think he's got help. He's on an offensive line that's got some depth. Like he said, if a guy's shoe falls off, gosh forbid, and you know, somebody else come right in, they're going to be ready. An offensive line that can help Trevor Lawrence and help this team move forward. It's one of the issues that was here in the last few years. The offensive line didn't have depth. There's a lot of injuries. So with lack of depth and injuries happening, it affected the team. And now seeing Walker Little step up the way that he has, Anton Harrison was drafted to come in and help right away, to looking at Brandon Sheriff, who was brought in last season from the Washington Commanders, and Andrew Norwell, who was brought in from Carolina, ended up going to the Washington Commanders. So one went out and one came in. Shatley obviously has been here. Luke Fortner, Ben Barch, working these guys into, and I said it going into last season. I said 2 years ago, I said, if this line can't stay healthy and can't stay together, I think they're finally going to break it up, and they did. And now we're watching this team move forward with guys in leadership roles that maybe weren't given the respect in the beginning. And I'm excited that I've had the opportunity to speak with them, and I really do appreciate and hold a lot of value to the work that guys like Tyler Shatley have put in. So I thank him for his time for sure. Next, coming up here, somebody who is no stranger to the broadcast, been on the show a bunch of times in these last 2 seasons, wide receiver and return specialist Jamal Agnew, as he is back with me coming off of this Texans game to give his thoughts on where the team is at and what needs to happen.
Well, you know, in this game, defense created a lot of opportunities. You guys didn't come away with a touchdown offensively. Just what you can say, kind of looking back on this game offense-wise.
Yeah, hats off to our defense, man.
And part of me on that one, that was the Chiefs conversation. As I said, Jamal's been on the show a bunch, so that was coming off of the Chiefs game. Here's my conversation with him after the Texans game.
Well, you have an opportunity here after the 1-2 start to get away for a couple games and go overseas. Do you feel like this could be what this team needs?
Yeah, I honestly think we need to kind of just reset. Obviously, we're not playing to our standards right now, and it's everybody. It's not. We're just not playing well. It sucks because, like, we go so hard in practice. We're so talented, but that only takes you so far. You got to come out on Sundays and do it. You got to execute, and myself included. Like, I put the ball on the ground again today, and like that's something I pride myself on, is protecting the football. And I put it on the ground again today, and I got to be better personally.
when you look at, like you said, some things that personally you can do better, can you attribute anything to, like, team-wise, what's going on that it's not translating from practice to the games?
It's just, I mean, maybe just like one or two guys on, a certain play, just in different parts of the game, just not executing to what our standards. I mean, for example, me on that fumble, like, we were driving, we had a really good drive going right before the half, and obviously we were down 2 scores, and, scoring before halftime would have been huge for momentum, and, I put the ball on the ground, but it's just like we're making mistakes in the wrong moments, and I think that's what's hurting us, and it's all of us, and, we just got to look in the mirror and be better.
Last season, there was no hype. Last season, there was a chip on the shoulder of this team. This season, people start talking about the Jaguars are going to be a good team. They can win this division. Do you feel like that crept in to the locker room at all?
I don't feel like it crept in, but it's just the fact that, we're not sneaking up on anybody. Like, people know we're a good team. We know we're a good team, and we got to go out there and play like it. And we're not doing our part right now. And, the coaching staff can only do so much for us. We got to go out there and we got to do it.
What are they?
I mean, they can't go out there and play. Like, we got to go out there and play.
Coach P, at the end of this game, I was talking to Luke Fortner about it. He said that Coach Peterson came in and told you guys you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
What is there anything that you can really say, like, okay, the coaches have done everything that they can do, and it's not translating? I know you said execution on a certain number of plays, but is it a mental thing? Is it a, buying into the fact that there's expectations this year? I mean, is there something that just feels off right now that you could put your finger on?
It's just, we got to lock in every play, myself included. And like I said, the coaching staff can only do so much and put us in certain positions to be successful. And, we just got to go out there and do it. And it's just tough, man, because we're such a good team, and it's just we're not playing like it at all, and it just sucks.
Where does the leadership come from right now when you're in this moment where you're all just feeling it? Where's that leadership coming from? Who's some of the guys that are kind of speaking up at this point?
I mean, obviously Trevor at first. Trevor talked to us after the game. Foye, Kirk. I mean, it's going to take us. Like, the coaching, this is the third time I said the coaching staff can only do so much. They can only say so much. We got to come together and, love on each other and fight for each other and, hold each other accountable to lock in on those mental mistakes, on those physical. I mean, the physical mistakes are going to happen, but, I mean, we just got to limit them. And we just got to, we're a tight group. I mean, we're 1-2. Like, the season, we got 14 more games left, so we're not gonna fall apart. But this is one of those times where we gotta band together and get even closer and just fight for each other.
I was speaking with Christian Kirk about that, and he said that teams, when they go through adversity, good teams lift each other up. They love each other. Other teams point fingers.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that this team stays close and holds on to each other instead of the frustration that can come with moments like this?
Just checking up on each other, making sure we're all good. I mean, we all feel the same way. We all feel like shit because obviously we just dropped two games in a row at home, and we pride ourselves winning at home in front of our home crowd, and we just gotta band together even more than we ever have. The season's not over by far, so we got a lot of football left, but it's got to be now, and it can't be when we're 3-5 or 3-7 like last year. We got to do it now.
That coming from Jamal, Agnew, and great message. We got to do it now. We can't happen later on down the road. We have to do it now, and they have the opportunity to do it with a change of scenery, which obviously in speaking with the team about it, could be the best thing for them right now, to get away and to have the time now away from home, reset, refocus, recharge. They're in a different place, and sometimes a change of scenery, a little adjustment to your typical day-to-day can help you to say, okay, you know what? I got a chance to start fresh, and that's exactly what we're going to do. It's a new season, 1-2. Now it's about being 1-0 this week against the Atlanta Falcons. So I appreciate Jamal Agnew's time. As always, coming up next on the broadcast in my On the Prowl conversations with the Jacksonville Jaguars here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here is Foye Oluokun, the linebacker and one of the captains of the squad, as we had the chance to speak with one another after this game. I spoke with him a bunch of times last season. This game, obviously, is one that sticks with you in a way that you want to correct, adjust, move forward, and not live in the past like we spoke about earlier in the show. Here's my conversation with Foye Oluokun and what he thought.
Well, just looking at, obviously, this 1-2 start for the team and having an opportunity now to kind of reset and regroup and go overseas, do you feel like this could be the perfect time to do something like that?
Perfect time to reset?
Time to reset and go overseas, get away from home.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Reset. Right? If we're overseas or not overseas, we got to find a way to get back to Jaguar football. That's about it. Wherever it would be at. Luckily for us, it's overseas. Wherever it would be at, we'll find a way.
What is it that you can kind of point your finger on that's maybe not Jaguars football right now? Why is it?
It's the energy coming into work weeks. That's about it. Just coming with the right energy.
Last season, the team had a chip on their shoulder. There wasn't a lot of talk positively about the Jaguars. This season coming in, there was a lot of positive talk. Did that, in your opinion, does that leak in at all to the locker room of some of the hype that the team was getting on the outside?
Hype's not really anything unless you do something with it. So maybe, I don't know, but there wasn't a chip. We'll have one now.
Defensively, just what you can say about building on some of the positives here in these first 3 weeks, some of the things that you've taken away.
We have to continue to be a unit, run fits, pass, drops, flying to the football. That's what we have to do and create takeaways. I don't think we got a takeaway today, so really disappointed about that. And we have to do our part so that the team can win, and we did not do that today.
You're one of the leaders on this team, leadership-wise. What is kind of your message right now when you have the opportunity to speak with some of these guys?
Let's keep working. Work. Early in the season, we're going to write our own narrative here. We're going to work.
For you, as you step forward in this London trip, what is your personal focus right now?
Win.
Simple as that.
That's all I came here to do is win. That's all anybody here in this locker room is trying to do is win.
Coach P, at the end of the game, did he give you anything, this locker room, anything that you kind of take with you?
Got to get better and we got to win.
Foye, and I can tell you this, if you can't hear it from the conversation, he was not happy with the way that things went in this game against the Texans, understandably so. And he said it. We got to win. Hype isn't anything if you do nothing with it. We got to win. I came here to win. That's what we got to do. We got to win. You could tell that he's frustrated. And you can understand why. And now it's about channeling that frustration and turning into positive energy and getting this team to work together. It's a pleasure for me to speak with the Jaguars over the years, and I really do appreciate Foye Oluokun's time because I know that on this team, he has worked to be a leader and he has worked to be a household name in Duval and beyond as one of the people that can help lead them forward, guide them forward. And I look forward to hearing his message and his thoughts on what this team can do and what they need to do and the focus that they need to take from here. Speaking of someone who I love to listen to their thoughts that I see leadership in, Christian Kirk is next up on the list. Where's my grandfather's lucky number 13? And we had the opportunity to speak after the loss to the Texans 37-17 at home. Here's my conversation with Christian Kirk as we break down what's going on and his thoughts from his point of view.
Well, you and I spoke last season, and the team had a chip on their shoulder last season when you were coming in because there wasn't a lot of talk. This season, there is a lot of talk about the Jaguars being a good team. I just spoke with Muma, and he said, having that chip last year was a positive for this team, and now you kind of have to kick out the mentality of what people are saying. Do you feel that?
Well, I think we just got to stop expecting to be good, to be honest with you. We got a target on our backs now, and just because we had a little taste of success, nobody else cares about that. We're going to get everybody's best shot, and so we need to be better. Starts with leadership, starts with, everyone on this team and just personally being at their best. So I think, I think we need a little bit of a reset when it comes to our mental approach and how we're going to attack, every single Sunday.
You talk about a reset. Could there be any better time to be away for a couple of weeks? You're going to be in London. You have an opportunity to literally be far, far away. Mm-hmm. Is this the reset that you need right now?
I think so. We talked about it in the game. I think that's the best thing for us, to get over there, hone in on one thing and one thing only, and that's winning football games. To get 2 opportunities over there and can't let those up. So I do think that is a great opportunity for us, and you look at it last year, it was kind of the turning point for us. So hopefully we can do that again.
What is it that makes you believe through this adversity that this team can bounce back? It's early on in the season, of course, but if there has been some hype coming in, how does this team refocus and reset and get right moving forward?
You lean on the veterans that have played in this league for a long time and that have been in this situation. I've been in it, and I think in every single room, every single position group, there's been guys that have been in similar situations. So just lean on those guys and just lead the young guys, demand more of one another, and making sure we're getting everybody's best.
Red zone opportunities have been difficult these last couple of weeks. As an offense, how do you guys I know you got to look at the film from this game, but how do you focus in on the red zone?
Yeah, I thought we did actually a little better, when we got our opportunities running the ball. I think in the past game, we just still need to just be a little bit better, a little bit sharper on our landmarks, where we're supposed to be, and, just coming up with the plays, when we're supposed to make them, not pressing and just making sure that we're leaving, the field with points. I think that's the biggest thing, is just leaving the field with points. And we didn't do that today, and we didn't do it last week. So definitely going to be an ongoing, point of emphasis for us.
You and I have talked about faith before. How do you lean on that in moments like now?
Like I said, I think all of this goes back to leadership and the type of locker room you have. I've been telling a bunch of the guys that bad teams point the finger in this situation. Good teams pick each other up and they lead. Don't change anything. You don't need to have this heroic effort throughout the week and a heroic effort on Sunday. You just need to be the same guy. Consistency always wins, especially in this league, and through all 18 weeks, consistency always wins. So I think you just hone in a little bit better on your process, and things will turn around.
That coming from wide receiver Christian Kirk, speaking on how consistency always wins, and the fact of, you could do one of two things in these situations. You could turn on each other, start pointing fingers at each other, or you could lift each other up, love each other up. And he said, there's veterans that have been through things. I've been through things. So you lean on that. You lean on the veterans, and he believes, that there's somebody in each room that can help this team move forward. I love talking with Christian Kirk because, again, the leadership side of things, the honesty, the faith, and he doesn't mince words. He speaks on difficult subjects with depth and reasoning, and I just really appreciate it. There's a lot to these conversations that I get to have with Christian Kirk, and that I value them tremendously because he gives you that look inside. He talks to you about things that actually hold weight and what can be done moving forward. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, and I hope the team does. And I hope they build off of that experience and that positive energy and that faith so that they can move forward together. As we continue on the Prowl here, my coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars that we bring you every single season, I now have the opportunity to speak on someone else who displays leadership, and that is linebacker Chad Muma. Listening to him makes me hope that he's one of the guys in the locker room that does speak up and that guys do take the time to listen to. and really reflect on what he says, because he is somebody like Christian Kirk that comes out and states what's going on. He's open about it. He's candid about it. And he's willing to reflect on it, reflect on the positives, the negatives, and everything in between. My conversations with Chad Muma, always wonderful. And this one is one of my favorites.
We spoke last week about kind of bouncing back from adversity and knowing that there was chances there against Kansas City. What can you put your finger on, if there's anything, from this game against the Texans?
Yeah, I think it's, after the game we really talked about it in the locker room as a group, and it really comes down to, we're just expecting too much. We're expecting to win and thinking that they're just going to give us the ball, thinking they're just going to give us plays, and it's the NFL. Every team's good. We can't just go out there and expect to win. We got to really work throughout the week to win, and that's something that I think going into this week we got to band together and just really take every single day and take every film room session, every practice, every snap to the fullest and really work it. Because I feel like right now we just had a sense of they're like, oh, we'll be good. We're gonna come back and win this game, and we just can't be put in those situations for ourselves.
Why do you feel like maybe that's the mentality right now of this, don't worry about it, we'll get the ball back?
Yeah, I think it's just stemming from last year, coming, how we finished the year last year. Last year we had a chip on our shoulder because, people were saying that Jags aren't going to be good this year, and I think that really fueled us last year. And, it kind of led us to have that kind of drive we did throughout the year last year. And I think this year, in this offseason, people are saying, no, Jags going to be good this year, Jags going to be good this year. And I think that, we've heard that, and I think there's just that mentality, oh, we'll be good, but, it's not the reality. It's the NFL. We got to work. We got to go out there and work.
How do you change that, like you said, last season, chip on the shoulder, because there wasn't high expectations from the outside looking in. Now when there are high expectations and a lot of talking heads are saying positive things about the Jaguars, if that's leaked into the locker room, how do you get it back out and say, hey, no, we got to stay with the chip on our shoulder?
Yeah, we just got to, we realize we have a good team, but it really comes down to each person looking themselves in the mirror and seeing what can they do better, what can I do for my team better, and just keep that team mentality. And I think it's going to start tomorrow when we get back in the building, and really, we have to band together as a team, look at what can we do personally better, then relate it back to the team and go from there.
What is it about? Is it more of what you guys are doing, mentally and what you're thinking than it is the Texans, because they've won their last 6 games here in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I mean, not to discredit the Texans, but they came out and whooped our ass today, and it was embarrassing for us, and the way that we came out there and played. And I think that credit to them, it's the NFL. They're a good team. We just got to be better ourselves.
You're going away from home for a couple weeks in London. Is this maybe the best time for something like that to happen?
I think so. I think this is allows us to get out of Jacksonville and kind of eliminate, maybe if people have distractions in Jacksonville, we can reset in London. When we're in London, we're together as a team, and you're in the hotel together as a team, after practice and whatnot. So I think this is really going to allow us to come together and really give us that push for the rest of the season that we really need.
Final note, what is your leadership message to this team? You seem like somebody who's not afraid to be vocal, and you are methodical in how you think things through. So what is your leadership message?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what I said. We can't expect to win. We got to work to win. That's something that Coach Peterson has blasted all over our locker room, our meeting rooms, and it's the truth. And there's no little details, and we got to pay attention to every detail. And that goes throughout the week, and it goes for me personally. And there's definitely things I can do better, but we just got to band together as a team and get the next one.
And coming from Chad Muma, linebacker of the Jacksonville Jaguars, going in depth on what's going on with the team, what they need to do, how they need to focus and move forward, and agreeing that this is a great opportunity going to London for 2 games to reset, to regroup, and to get right with the things that they need to figure out as they move forward here. So, I mean, that theme of regrouping, resetting, it's just something that made sense to me. And speaking with the guys about it, you've heard them echo those sentiments that this is a good thing right now and, could be the best time for it. And continuing that conversation, I have quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and what he thinks about the timing of the trip when I posed the question to him. So here's the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars in his third season with the team, Trevor Lawrence, speaking on the timing of the trip to London for 2 games.
Trevor, do you feel like it is the perfect time to do something like that, to have this reset, so to speak, to have 2 weeks away from home in London? Is that what the team needs right now, in your opinion?
I mean, I think if we use it the right way, it could be good for us. I don't think that we should need that to, get the sense of urgency and to play better and to execute. I don't think that we should need that, but if that's what we need, and it's coming at the right time, and we're going to take advantage of it. So we'll see. I mean, I know we're going to respond the right way, but hopefully this will be good for us, and we'll respond.
And coming from Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of the team, one more time saying, I don't think we should need that. I don't think we should need this trip to, get back on the right side of things. I don't think we should need it for the sense of urgency. But if we do, then it's coming at the right time, and let's take advantage of it. And, we shouldn't need it, but let's use it. We'll take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Appreciate all the gentlemen joining me for On the Prowl this week, and all the Jaguars throughout the 13 years of coverage of the team, and the majority of that time spent on site, on location. I want to thank everyone that's been on the show, including, for the first time ever, center Luke Fortner, wide receiver Tim Jones, as well as returning to the broadcast offensive lineman Tyler Shatley, wide receiver and return specialist Jamal Agnew, linebacker Foye Oluokun, wide receiver Christian Kirk, linebacker Chad Muma, and quarterback Trevor Lawrence. We'll be back right after this fast break, coming off of On the Prowl, to wrap up this week on Wake Up Call. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And then them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time, and thank you for tuning in on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /wakeupcalldt, on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. And once the shows go live, they hop into the archives. We got plenty of shows on the archives, and all of these Jaguars on the Prowl conversations with the team are going to be going there individually, so you'll be able to click on my conversation with Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, Foye, Oluokun, Chad Muma, and so on and so forth. Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser, Podvine, as well as Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, and more. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on your favorite podcasting platform, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Make sure to follow and click download as well. Thanks to our incredible partners, Carvel, DeWitt, where I had my own Sunday. Go and get the DT Dolphin. I made it to show my love for the Lemoyne College Dolphins, as well as my love for the community and Carvel. We are one big family, and you can get the DT Dolphin today and any day of the week, which has mint chocolate chip ice cream, of course, green for the Dolphins, topped off with hot fudge, whipped cream, and cherry, green and gold sprinkles, and a chocolate dolphin jumping out of your whipped cream. The DT Dolphin is available 7 days a week at 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. The Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, where your taste buds get to snacking every single week. And you go to maandpaspopcorn.com if you're out of town to order their wonderful flavors online. Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Great Lakes Honda City, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, 317 at Montgomery Street. Just a few days left to get the Taste of Mexico burger, homemade tortilla chips, homemade queso, pico, all on their smash burger, which by itself is incredible. You add all those flavors, the Taste of Mexico, put it together, put those fries on the side, and you have the perfect lunch right now at 317 at Montgomery Street in downtown Syracuse. Make sure you head over there today. Let them know the Wake Up Call sent you. PB&J's Lunchbox. Can the food get better? It always does. Whatever they have on the menu that I love, they build a new favorite. I fall in love with that. I love their crunch wraps. I love their shrimp tacos. I love the barbecue chicken quesadilla. I love their breakfast sandwiches. PB&J's Lunchbox continues to impress me every single time I go in there. I'm always hungry for their food, and I love it. Thank you to Pat and Sue and the entire team at PB&J's for being awesome. 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Pizza Man, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, and Mother's Cupboard, where I have my own sandwich every single day of the week. The Cuse McMother was made with McLove for McU. So make sure you get over there to, that's an MAC, baby. So make sure you get over there to Mother's Cupboard, 3709 James Street, 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. daily in Syracuse, New York, to try the Cuse McMother, which is bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. Cut it up and have it with some syrup. It's available to you every single day, including game day at Mother's Cupboard. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. You can find the Dolphins every single month on Wake Up Call, and when it comes to any of their sports programs, it comes through Wake Up Call first, as well as their entire year-long move from Division II to Division I. I was with them from the beginning of the beginning of the beginning and all the way through. All of that content is available on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, comes to you every first and third Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Every second and fourth Wednesday, the Dolphin Dive dives into the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. You can connect with your Dolphins, like I said, by subscribing to our YouTube channel for all the content. There is a Dolphin playlist on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. For more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com. And as always, fins way up. And make sure you come out tonight, 5 p.m., because for the first time ever, Susan Kim, who's their first year as a head coach of the Lemoyne women's volleyball team, this is her first home game in her first season, and it's the team's first home game as being a Division I program. So come out and see the match tonight at Ted Grant Court and support Lemoyne and your Lemoyne women's volleyball team. I'm out here bopping to this music. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and that music brings me into the Hispanic culture. It's right up my alley, and I play it with the Bobcats. When you hear it, you know something is coming up with the Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, the Bobcat Buzz, coming to you every single month with student athletes, coaches, and administration all throughout the year. Check out your Bobcats on youtube.com/wakeupcall. DT, click subscribe. There is a playlist there for the Bobcats that says BSC Syracuse, so make sure you check that out. And of course, be with your Bobcats on syracuse.bscbobcats.com. All of our specials throughout the year are unique and very much Bobcat. And when you want to know what that means, you got to watch it. Our roundtable discussions, our panel discussions, playing board games with the coaches. We do things differently with Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse because they're a different and unique experience for students and student athletes. And with that different and unique experience, I wanted that to spill over into our coverage and in how we bring you the Bobcats. And I thank the student athletes, coaches, and administration for being so open to it. Can't wait to bring you what's coming up. And you can find it all on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Go Bobcats. The Alfred University Saxons are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find the Saxons every Monday during Saxon time on Mondays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. First and third Monday of each month, the Presidential Perspective featuring President Mark Zupan of Alfred University. Every second and fourth Monday, the Saxon Spotlight student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni all throughout the year in our coverage of the Saxons. We've only been with them for a few months, and we've been able to give you very unique connections to the Alfred University Saxons, and we've had a fantastic time in everything we've been able to build and develop the stories that we have told, and to show you just how special Alfred University is. Their alumni, to what their students and student athletes are doing now, to the amount of programs that they have and the unique programs that they have, the unique majors and minors that they offer. Alfred University is telling incredible stories all year long, and I am honored that they get to come through Wake Up Call. Alfred University can be found in our specials on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, and there's also an Alfred U playlist, so you can check them all out there on the YouTube channel. For those of you that subscribe and connect with the channel on a daily basis, you can see all of our content, and of course, for more information, go to GoSaxons.com, and as the website tells you, go Saxons. With that being said, I hope you have a tremendous day. Thank you to Carvel, as always, Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver, K9 Kamp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding for short and long-term care for your furry-loving friends and members of the family. And come out to K9 Kamp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding in East Syracuse, and them bringing us the top dog of the week. I appreciate that very much so. And I appreciate all of the Jaguars joining me in my coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars for 13 years now, on site, on location for the majority of that time, covering the team at their home games, traveling to some of their road games, and being with them in the playoffs. I want to thank all the Jaguars that have joined me on the Prowl, Papa Joe for his help in the coverage as well, and all the Jaguars that joined the show today. Center Luke Fortner, offensive lineman Tyler Shatley, linebackers Foye Oluokun and Chad Muma, wide receivers Tim Jones, Jamal Agnew and Christian Kirk, and quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I want to thank each and every single one of you for being a part of the show, and everyone that has in our On the Prowl coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I can't thank you enough for watching and listening. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. And I implore you to go back. We did a ton of shows yesterday. We had a special called the Wake Up Call Knockout that featured Bryce Mills from Liverpool High School, who is now 22 years old and already a professional boxer, boxing around the world and boxing in our backyard at Turning Stone. He's going to have something coming up soon in Atlantic City, which I'm ecstatic about, and look forward to the opportunity of being able to go. You can watch that special with Bryce Mills from Avicoli's. I want to thank everybody that came out to Avicoli's, ate and had a good time with us and supported Bryce. I want to thank Liverpool High School for their support of Bryce Mills, their alum. I want to thank the community of Central and Upstate New York and all Bryce Mills fans, of course, his family, and to his mom, his dad, his sister, his aunt and uncle, his grandparents that showed up. Thank you so much for your love and support. Make sure you don't miss that special airing on YouTube and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. And, of course, the newest edition of Tortora and Alfred, a product of Wake Up Call, getting into Syracuse this season, Clemson this season, the upcoming matchup of Clemson at Syracuse, the Orange Out, college football rankings, and so much more, including the transfer portal and what it's doing to college football. Check all that out in our newest edition of Tortora and Alfred, also on Facebook and YouTube.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. I will see you at the game. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a great start to your weekend. My prayers to everybody who needs it. Blessings, and to everyone who's passed on, may you be safe and sound in heaven, reunited with your loved ones that also passed on. May your loved ones here on earth be safe and sound with their loved ones and connected to you. May death not separate us from anything. May nothing separate us from our love and those that we care about the most. Thanks to God who gave his life, Jesus Christ on the cross. Dying, you destroyed our death, and rising, you restored our life. So, God bless, no stress, do your best. And it's my 20-year reunion at CBA, so I'm going to end it by saying, St. John the Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever.